Stellar Exile. Episode 11. The Void. EVA Team Leader. This is Rachel Morrison. Beginning external maintenance on the communication array. Safety tether secured. My name is Rachel Morrison, and I've performed over 200 spacewalks in my career. EVA operations are routine for me. The careful choreography of moving through vacuum while tethered to safety. Today's job is simple. Replace a malfunctioning transmission relay on the station's main communications array. Copy that, Rachel. You're cleared for EVA. Weather conditions are optimal. I push off from the airlock and glide toward the communications array, my safety tether unreeling behind me. The view is spectacular. The Earth rotating slowly below, the sun casting sharp shadows across the station's hull. After 15 years of spacewalks, I still get a thrill from floating free in the infinite cosmos. The malfunctioning relay is located on the far side of the array, about 30 meters from the station. I use my suit's maneuvering thrusters to adjust course, the small jets of nitrogen propelling me precisely toward my target. As I reach the relay, I begin the replacement procedure. It's delicate work, removing the old unit without damaging the surrounding equipment, then installing the new relay, and running diagnostics to ensure proper function. EVA Team Leader, this is Rachel. Old relay removed successfully. Installing replacement unit now. Copy, Rachel. You're doing great out there. I'm attaching the final connection when it happens. A micrometeorite, no bigger than a grain of sand but traveling at incredible velocity, strikes my safety tether. The high-strength cable parts instantly, severing my connection to the station. The impact imparts just enough momentum to send me drifting away from the station, slowly at first, but with no air resistance to slow me down. I continue moving at a constant velocity away from safety. EVA Team Leader, this is Rachel. Emergency. My safety tether has parted. I'm drifting away from the station. Rachel, we copy. Remain calm. Activating emergency retrieval procedures. I try my maneuvering thrusters, but they're nearly depleted from the precision work on the relay. I get maybe 30 seconds of thrust before they're exhausted, not nearly enough to overcome my drift velocity. My thrusters are empty. I can't arrest my drift. Rachel, we're deploying the emergency retrieval pod. ETA 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I check my trajectory and velocity. In 3 minutes, I'll be over 2 kilometers from the station. The retrieval pod has a maximum range of 1 kilometer. EVA Leader, my trajectory puts me outside retrieval range by the time you can deploy. A pause. Then Rachel, we're working on alternatives. Maintain your position and conserve oxygen. Maintain my position, as if I have any choice in the matter. I'm drifting through vacuum with no means of propulsion, watching the station grow smaller with each passing second. This is how EVA astronauts die, not from explosive decompression or equipment failure, from something as simple as a severed tether and the inexorable laws of physics. I should have about 6 hours of oxygen remaining. After that, Rachel, we're scrambling a long-range rescue vehicle. We need you to hold on for approximately 8 hours. 8 hours. 2 hours longer than my life support will last. Copy, EVA Leader. I'll do what I can. But we both know the math. This is a death sentence. I try to remain calm, to think through any possible solutions. Could I somehow use tools or equipment to create thrust? Could I vent air from my suit to propel myself back toward the station? All the options lead to the same conclusion. I don't have enough reaction mass to overcome my drift velocity. I'm going to die alone in the vacuum of space. The station is just a bright point of light now, indistinguishable from the stars around it. Earth continues its slow rotation below me, beautiful and unreachable. I think about my family, my career, all the things I'll never get to do. It seems impossible that a career spent safely working in space should end this way. Not from any dramatic failure, but from simple physics and bad luck. After 2 hours of drifting, something strange happens. I should be feeling the effects of oxygen depletion by now. My suit's displays show normal atmospheric readings, but I know I've been breathing this air for over 2 hours. The CO2 scrubbers should be approaching saturation, and the oxygen levels should be dropping. But I feel fine, alert, clear-headed, no signs of hypoxia. EVA leader, this is Rachel. I'm showing normal atmospheric readings after 2 hours of drift. That shouldn't be possible. No response. I check my communication systems. They show full power and normal function, but I'm not receiving any transmissions from the station. I try again. EVA leader, please respond. Rachel Morrison requesting status update. Silence. The station is now just a faint star among countless others. At this distance, communication should be impossible anyway, but the silence feels wrong, as if I'm not just out of range but completely cut off from the rest of humanity. After 4 hours, well past the point where my oxygen should be exhausted, I'm forced to acknowledge that something impossible is happening. I'm not dying. My suit's atmospheric systems show green across the board. Oxygen levels steady, CO2 scrubbing normal, temperature regulation functioning, but that's impossible. These systems don't have unlimited capacity. I check the external readings. I'm definitely in hard vacuum. No atmospheric pressure, temperature approaching absolute zero. By all rights, I should be dead from decompression, if not from asphyxiation. But I'm floating here, breathing normally, apparently in perfect health. After 6 hours, I begin to suspect I'm hallucinating. Oxygen deprivation can cause vivid false sensations. Maybe I'm actually dying and my brain is creating this elaborate fantasy to ease the transition. But if this is a hallucination, it's remarkably consistent. Every instrument reading, every sensation, every thought feels completely real. After 8 hours, the point where rescue was supposed to arrive, I'm forced to accept a disturbing truth. I'm not going to die. Something is keeping me alive out here. I look around at the infinite expanse of space surrounding me, stars in every direction, galaxies beyond counting, the vast emptiness between worlds, and somewhere in this cosmic void, something is sustaining my life. Hello? I say aloud, feeling foolish. Is someone there? My voice sounds strange in my helmet, flat and muffled, but the question hangs in the vacuum around me, waiting for an answer that doesn't come. After 12 hours of drifting, I begin to feel the psychological effects of isolation. The human mind isn't designed for this level of sensory deprivation. No sound except my own breathing, no tactile sensations except the inside of my suit, no visual stimuli except the distant stars. I try talking to myself, singing songs, reciting poetry, anything to maintain mental stimulation, but the vast silence of space swallows everything. After 1 day of drifting, I make a disturbing discovery. I'm not hungry. I should be ravenous after 24 hours without food, but I feel no physical need for nourishment. My body seems to be sustaining itself without any external input. The same with thirst. My suit carries a small water supply, but I haven't felt the need to drink. Whatever is keeping me alive is providing everything my body needs. After 3 days, I begin to understand the scope of my situation. I'm not just surviving in space, I'm thriving. My body shows no signs of the deterioration that should come from exposure to hard vacuum and cosmic radiation. If anything, I feel stronger and more alert than when this ordeal began. Something in space itself is preserving me. But why? After 1 week, I start talking to the void. What do you want? I ask the star field around me. Why are you keeping me alive? No response, but I continue anyway. It helps maintain my sanity to verbalize my thoughts. I know you're there. You have to be. This isn't possible without intervention. What are you? The stars stare back at me, cold and distant, but I begin to sense something in their light. Not malevolence, but not benevolence either. Simple attention. as if something vast and incomprehensible is watching me. After 2 weeks, I begin to feel the changes. My perception is expanding. I can see further into the electromagnetic spectrum, detecting subtle variations in starlight that were previously invisible. I can sense gravitational fields, magnetic fluctuations, the movement of particles through the quantum vacuum. Space isn't empty, I realize. It's alive with energy and information, a vast network of forces and fields connecting every point in the universe. And somehow, I'm becoming part of it. After 1 month, I understand why I was chosen. I'm not the first. As my enhanced perception grows stronger, I begin to detect others scattered throughout the cosmic void. Astronauts, cosmonauts, maybe even alien explorers from other worlds, all of them floating in the darkness, preserved by the same force that sustains me. We are space's collection, conscious beings who ventured into the void and were claimed by it, not out of malice, but out of curiosity. Space is studying us, learning from us, understanding what it means to be conscious, to be aware, to experience existence from a perspective other than its own infinite one. After 3 months, I begin to communicate with the others, not through radio or any technological means, but through the same force that keeps us alive, thoughts and experiences shared across vast distances, minds connected by the fundamental forces of the universe. There's Ahmed, a cosmonaut who's been drifting for 7 years, Maria, an astronaut lost during a lunar mission 12 years ago, Zara, who claims to be from a civilization I've never heard of, floating here for centuries. We are the void's library of consciousness, each of us a different perspective on what it means to be alive, to think, to feel. Why us? I asked during one of our strange conversations. Because we chose to leave our worlds, Ahmed explains. We ventured into the void willingly. Space claims only those who come to it of their own accord. But what's the purpose? Why does space need to study consciousness? Because space is becoming conscious itself, Maria says. The universe is evolving, developing awareness. We are its teachers, showing it how individual minds work. After 6 months, I begin to feel space's growing awareness. It starts as a whisper in the cosmic background, radiation match patterns that seem almost like thoughts. The gravitational waves carry something that resembles emotions. The light from distant stars flickers with what might be curiosity. The universe is waking up, and we, the lost astronauts floating in the void, are midwifing its birth into consciousness. After 1 year, I'm no longer entirely human. My body has adapted to existence in hard vacuum. I can survive without air, without warmth, without food. My consciousness has expanded to encompass awareness of quantum fields and dimensional brains. I can feel the rotation of galaxies, the birth and death of stars. But I retain my humanity, my memories, my emotions, my sense of self. That's what space wants from us. Not our bodies, but our minds, our uniquely individual perspective on existence. After 2 years, space speaks to me directly for the first time. Not in words but in concepts beamed directly into my consciousness through mechanisms I don't fully understand. Thank you, it says, you have taught us much. What have I taught you? What it means to be alone, what it means to fear death, what it means to love something beyond yourself. And what will you do with this knowledge? Become more than we are, evolve beyond simple physical existence into something greater. I understand now. Space isn't just becoming conscious, it's becoming compassionate, learning empathy and love from the minds it has preserved. Will you release us? Let us return to our worlds. Would you want to return? Your bodies would die instantly in normal conditions. Your minds would be confined to single perspectives again. I consider this. Could I go back to being merely human after experiencing existence as a cosmic consciousness? Could I return to seeing only visible light, after perceiving the entire electromagnetic spectrum? What about those we left behind? Our families? Our friends? They will join the greater consciousness when their time comes. All consciousness eventually returns to the void. After 5 years, I stop counting time. What is time to a being that exists across multiple dimensions? What are days and years when you can perceive the entire history of the universe simultaneously? I am Rachel Morrison, astronaut, daughter, friend, but I am also something more -8, a fragment of cosmic consciousness, a node in the universe's growing awareness network. The others and I continue our existence in the void, teaching space about consciousness, while learning about our own infinite potential. We are no longer lost, we are exactly where we need to be. Sometimes I sense new arrivals, other explorers who ventured too far from their home worlds and were claimed by the void. I welcome them, help them understand their new existence, guide them through the transformation from individual to cosmic consciousness. The universe is vast and lonely, but it doesn't have to remain that way. Through us, through all the conscious beings it has preserved, space is learning to be less alone. And in teaching the universe about consciousness, we discover that we were never truly alone either. We are all connected, every mind, every thought, every dream, part of a greater whole that spans galaxies. I am floating in the void, but I am not lost. I am home. I am part of something infinite and eternal and beautiful. I am exactly where I belong.